Welcome back, everybody. I'm I-Team Chief Mike Magnoli. Today, I've got the second interview in our series of conversations with the candidates running for state attorney in Palm Beach County. In this election cycle, justice is on the ballot. Our current state attorney, Dave Aronberg, is not seeking re-election. Dave first won that role in 2012 and ran without opposition in 2016 and 2020. But now there is a heated race to fill his spot as the top prosecutor. So voters will get to decide on an all-new state attorney. Today, the man that we'll talk to is already an assistant state attorney. He has been a prosecutor in Palm Beach County for 27 years. Craig Williams is a Democrat, and for full transparency, Mr. Williams is married to CBS 12 News evening anchor Liz Carantes. Liz and I have not spoken about our interviews with any of the candidates, and the producers of this show don't work on the same newscasts as Liz. Okay, we're going to be treating all of the candidates the same and giving them equal time here on ARC Florida, so we've gotten that business out of the way. Now let's have a look at Craig Williams' background. Palm Beach County Chief Assistant State Attorney Craig Williams handles big prosecutions, felony trials, traffic homicide, organized crime. To name just one of his cases that garnered national media attention, Williams won in the trial against Jeff Lamb. In 2006, the jury came back with a guilty verdict after deliberating for 3 days. They found that Lamb had fatally bludgeoned his estranged wife with a tire iron in their Lake Park home. Lamb had a prominent defense attorney representing him. The death penalty was on the table, but a jury in the sentencing phase opted for life in prison. More recently, Craig Williams won at trial when a local chiropractor was found guilty of practicing without a license. Highlights from Mr. Williams' platform. He has advised first-time offenders and minor offenders on how to navigate through the system and stay on the right side of the law. And earlier this year, he helped to organize a sealing and expungement workshop where people could consult with Williams to get their records cleared so they could apply for jobs. He says a prosecutor must be the voice of the victim, and to use his words, if the prosecutor doesn't get it right, the victim doesn't get justice. And Craig Williams live with us now on the couch. Craig, you have an insider's view of this office because you already work for the state attorney's office. So can you pick an area where you think there needs to be some improvement and talk to me about how you're the right guy for the job?
Well, Mike, I've been fighting for victims' justice since 1993 to do the right thing and to make sure we have a safer community. One of my big pet peeves right now is our performance in the domestic violence unit. Our domestic violence unit, we are only filing charges in 1/3 of the cases, which means we are not helping 2/3 of the victims of domestic violence, and especially in felony domestic violence where they're getting stabbed, shot, beaten, cut, use weapons on them. And we need to do way more. We need a state attorney who has compassion for those people and is going to fight to make sure that we're just sending them right back to the defendant. Imagine if you got robbed and I sent you home with the person that robbed you. That's exactly what we're doing when we don't provide them any assistance. So that is that will be my biggest accomplishment, is to turn around our domestic violence unit to make sure that we really go out and protect our victims of domestic violence.
Okay. Want to turn the page here and talk about plea bargaining, Craig. Past couple of months, there have been some high-profile cases where it ended in some sort of plea. I'm thinking of the Killer Clown case, Sheila Keene Warren. Seems like at the last minute, they accepted her plea to second-degree murder. It wasn't in Palm Beach County, but up in Martin County, there was the Austin Haroof case. Then in Palm Beach County, you had the Ferreters. So it just seems like there's a lot of plea bargaining going on, or maybe I'm wrong, but you tell me your thoughts on plea bargaining.
Well, there's always been a lot of plea bargaining. Unfortunately, our system can't operate without having a lot of plea bargaining. We cannot try all cases. We don't have the resources, we don't have the prosecutors, we don't have the courtrooms to be able to do it. And a plea bargain is basically you're accepting responsibility in exchange for a little better deal than you would get had you gone to trial. That's what it's basically, buying something on sale. So that's what we're doing. The most important thing about plea bargaining, though, is involving the victim, the victim's family, the victim's friends into the decision. So that's where I have dedicated my life to fighting for those victims and involving them in every aspect of the case. I wasn't victimized in the case. I want to make sure that that victim feels like they got justice. I want them to know everything, the good, the bad, the ugly that's going on with that case. All cases have problems. And you have good trial attorneys. Prosecutors are not created equal. There are very good prosecutors, and there are ones that are not so good. In the Warren case, I think Marlene Warren was the victim. Reed Scott is a phenomenal trial attorney. He's now a judge. He was our chief of homicide. Reed fights for victims. Reed and I are very,
It just seems
very
like
similar.
that was such a slam dunk. There was so much evidence in that case, though.
And this is why...
For the prosecution, I mean.
Yeah, this is why we shouldn't rely on the media to tell us stuff, because we as prosecutors, we know what we can prove in a courtroom, especially when you have a really good, solid prosecutor like that. There were problems. There were rulings by the court that were making it very difficult to prove that case. And Reed consulted with the victim, with the son.
I know he did.
And the family. And
I know he did. And the son wanted it to be over.
And he gave the son the good, bad, and the ugly.
That's true.
And the son felt that justice was done. And that's our job. My job is to make sure that that victim gets justice.
That's true. All right, let's turn the page here. Can we talk about the death penalty? It's not sought very often in Palm Beach County, but if you are elected as the top prosecutor of the county, under what circumstances would you seek it? Like, let's say we have like a Nick Cruz, for instance.
A Nicholas Cruz, I would absolutely seek the death penalty. He destroyed thousands of people's lives, thousands, and that was his goal. His intended goal was to kill as many people as possible. He is the worst of the worst. The problem is it should only be reserved for the worst of the worst, because the cost to taxpayers is exorbitant. It costs $4-5 million in appeals to execute, and most of them never even get executed. They get overturned on appeal. Mm-hmm. We should not be spending taxpayers' money on cases we know are never going to get to that level. So I'm very efficient with spending taxpayers' money, and it would only be for the worst of the worst, because the good news is, if you do kill somebody in the state of Florida, you get a life sentence for a first-degree murder. Yes. And life is life.
Yes. What about if the crime involves a defendant who's a minor? Would you implement any new policies? I'm talking about the defendant. If the defendant is under 18, in a Craig Williams State Attorney's Office, would anything change?
What kind of crimes?
Well, let's say it's a gun crime. We have a lot of that around here, young men in the West Palm Beach area. There's gun violence all the time.
Well, the good news is that for the juveniles, it's very rare that we have juveniles committing adult-type crimes that are really out there hurting people. Mm. But if our job is to protect those victims, does the victim care that the person was 17 years old who killed them, or 27 years old? They don't care. Our job is to protect the community. Public safety is what I spend every single day of my career trying to make sure that everybody has a safer community to live in, and we don't have to look over our shoulder. So I want everybody to have a good quality life. If that person is committing adult-type crimes and hurting other people and ruining other people's lives, then they will be dealt with like somebody that's ruining other people's lives.
Craig, you're the candidate that a lot of law enforcement agencies are backing, a lot of police unions are backing. But what if it's a cop who's on the wrong side of the law? The Newman Raja case, for instance. What's your thought on that?
Well, I've been a prosecutor since 1993, and I've been held to a higher standard that entire time, and it should be that way. I'm asking to put people in prison, to hold people accountable for their actions. I should be held accountable at least to the same level they are, and in my eyes, to a higher level. And I hold those people. Our police officers are trained, just like I am, and they know how to deal with the public. And they get lots of additional training to make sure that they do it right. They protect and serve. We are public servants. We are held to a higher standard. Good police officers want people to be held to a higher standard. They don't want to work with bad police officers. It makes everybody look bad. The good news is we have body-worn cameras.
Yep.
It's so much better to see when people are doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Evidence is at our fingertips now.
Yep.
And if anyone is doing something wrong, they need to be held accountable.
All right. The producers are telling me we're out of time. Thanks for your answers. Thanks for coming out. We'll be right back.